should be
A card ladder link to...
Caitlin Clark's sales largest to smallest. So it should be 660,000, 500,000, three
Yep.
hundred and sixty-six.
Yep.
Yep, you've got that. Okay,
Oh,
cool. Yep.
that's that link.
Cool.
So I'm looking at my other links and I've got Pokemon cards up. So
You need to get rid of that shit. All right.
All right, and we're back. We're live again. We don't need to play intros in that, do we?
We do not.
No. We just say, and we're back.
And we are back. Adam, how did you enjoy having a chat with
I thought
Mr. Alvaro?
it was awesome. It's going to be great to see John and Alvaro next week at the Oz National. It'd be good to catch up with everybody actually at that event.
So I think the part that I enjoyed the most talking to Alvaro is like stories from the shop.
Yeah,
I think we need to nail him down better about that.
Let's get some concrete stories.
That's our responsibility too, you know. But I think
Pesta.
maybe the other thing we could do too is actually put this out to the listeners. Like, you know, what questions would you like to ask a shop owner? What are some of the things?
They could write and tell us about their experiences in their shop, their local shop.
Yeah, we can do it both ways, can't we?
That's it.
But yeah, no, it was really.
That was fun.
It's not easy to come onto a podcast, particularly with two other guys. So Alvaro, you did well, mate.
No, we appreciate it. We really do. It's good.
For the rest of today's show, we're going to talk about Caitlin Clark, just because
she's injured and we've got nothing else to talk about. No.
Yeah, so last week I did go light on this, and there was a couple of reasons I went light. Honestly, and this is a little bit like kind of funny in some ways. It's like I actually was worried I was going to be sentelled.
Okay.
Where actually she wasn't injured. Then we do this huge, breakdown about Caitlin Clark and the hobby's dying, and then it turns out, she's actually not injured and la la la. And last week I did say that I'm like, look, I can't find a lot of information about her injury. There is more information out about it, but there's not a lot out there. So I think that also was sort of planting seeds in my mind that I was being sentelled. So
it was also very interesting because I know obviously the Fever have got into the playoffs, but I don't think they're in a great position. So I don't think there's any value in trying to rush her back from injury. So they're probably going to be out pretty quickly. Is it like LeBron when he's carrying a niggle and goes, "Nah, I'm done this season"? And
100%. I think I would say that's the same as like Wemby, Tim Duncan, any big dog that's out there that you want to look after for the long term. 100%.
Stick a fork in it. We're done for the season. Let's move on to next season. I like it.
All right, so this is my Caitlin Clark take. It's very interesting to me that essentially the most money that's spent on current NBA players, I think if you had the top three, would be Wemby. Excluding that Jordan Kobe autograph, because they're not current. And I would say LeBron is second. And then I think Caitlin Clark is next. And I think the fact that we're even talking about Caitlin Clark being more expensive than NBA players, like to me, that's just, it's backwards. There's heaps of stuff in the hobby that doesn't make sense to me, but let's just add that to the list.
Interesting.
And then we're going to talk. So I thought what we'd do today is talk about 10 Caitlin Clark cards that have sold recently and just sort of get an idea behind it. And then sort of say, how badly should these people be panicking? Because case in point, let's talk about Zion Williamson. And this is an easy example to get your head around, just for the fact that he went up so much and then, went down so much, okay? So if we look at his silver PSA 10, just because, this is our benchmark that we always just look at, his all-time growth, he was up to 6,300.
Yeah.
He's now currently trading at $233. So that's all-time. So all-time, he's down 89%.
Yeah.
If you look at the last 2 years, he's down 63%.
It's pretty scary.
The last 12 months, he's down 47%.
Yeah.
And the last 6 months, let's look at this, he's down 30%, which is a lot, but also too relatively stable for Zion, which is a crazy thing to say. So I think what I'm trying to say here is like these people who go up to the tippy top, it doesn't mean that you're guaranteed to buy it at the top and then it's going to stay there. It could also very much go down quite quickly.
Like a toboggan ride, just like down to the bottom. Yeah.
Absolutely. And I think, the thing that's really been in my head this week is like, why aren't other influencers and other people in the hobby talking about this? Like, I really feel like there's a void in terms of content here because, like, for me, this is a massive story and just no one's sort of picking it up. So I think how I wanted
The
to talk
what
about
ifs
this is,
about Caitlin Clark if it becomes something problematic.
well, actually, I mean, the problematic stuff, I think that's too early to say that, but I'd also probably say too is like, have we actually lost perspective on what's going on with her? So I think what we should do is talk about 10 cards of
Sure.
hers.
Yep.
Let's try and get this done in the next 10 minutes. We're already 5 minutes into this segment. So
Sure.
I'm going to start at the top of the link here, Adam. Caitlin Clark blockchain sale. Now, this just sold in the last couple of days. This sold for $175,000. It's the green Kaboom 1 of 1. Now, there were some funny stories out around this, and basically it was saying like, this is another way of money laundering, essentially.
The blockchain stuff.
Yeah. And you can take this for what you want. Maybe they're just laundering money into like a high-end piece. Look, I got no comments on that. I just, I was actually saying on last week's show just how much of a spectacular failure blockchain has been. And then this happened, literally 2 days afterwards. So, I think that's a classic Russellism. But I'd also say too, I'm not holding my breath on this stuff.
It's a digital card. I'm just, yep.
Yep, at all.
Yep.
All right. So I think let's chalk that up to an L straight away. This next one is called a Caitlin Clark Gold. So this is her gold rookie card number to 10. Remembering there's two variants. There's the finger up variant and there's the jump shot variant. This is the jump shot variant.
$50K.
They're sold for $50,000. Look, of all the cards we're about to talk about today, I'm probably worried about this one the least. We're going to talk about golds later on the show a little bit more, but golds will often outsell numbered to like 5s or numbered to say 3s.
Yeah.
The gold is very, very popular. The only thing I'm a bit worried about,
gold stands for first, right? Like it's one of those.
If you're an Olympic athlete, that is correct. Yeah. The only thing I'm worried about this though is the PSA 9. Like, what happens when the PSA 10 comes up and only sells for say $45,000 or $35,000?
Yep, reasonable.
Yep. The next one is the silver PSA 10. This is the shooting card. I think this is really interesting, and we're talking about Jason Tatum as a benchmark at around $700. So let's just keep that in mind. She's trading currently at $2,000. Yeah. Now, the last 6 months, she's down 20%. When I keep saying she, I'm talking about Caitlin Clark.
Yeah.
This was actually up to $5,000 at one point. So this is down like a lot.
Yeah, okay.
It's, if we shorten this down, we'll go to the last 3 months, it's actually down 40%.
Yeah. But maybe that's just settling, like the Wemby spike, and then
absolutely. This is before her
comes
injury.
in for landing.
But now we're also adding injury into this too. I really think if this is $1,000 card in 12 months, that's going to be quite an achievement.
Yeah, fair.
The only thing that's going to hold this, I think, is its saving grace is the population count. The population is at the moment is 49. Just 49.
Yeah, true.
And also too, she is the bright spark of the WNBA.
She's the face of the league.
Face of the league is going to be coming back. There's sort of no qualms about that.
Yeah.
The pointing up, this is a pulsar number to 499. WNBA is configured differently to NBA, just sort of keeping that in mind.
Okay.
Population, this is 30. This sold for $1,000. I actually really like this as a purchase, even if she's interest. Yeah. Cheaper than the silver. Obviously, the population control is going to be much tighter on this long term.
Yeah.
I do think that the pulsar makes it a bit busier, so it sort of takes away from the aesthetics. I get all of that, but at the same time, it being numbered gives you some protection there.
Okay.
Now, these next two, I'm going to put these into the catastrophic category. These are the Bowman University Chrome, and these were selling for absolutely, in my opinion, bananas at one point. So the highest sale on this was $799. This is the silver university, or they call it refractor. The fancy tops people, that's what they call it. Population on this is 350, so it's not insane, but it's also not low. The last sold on this was 270, so we've already had a very large decline on this already. This is the type of stuff where I can imagine this bottoming out to like less than $100. And even if you sell it for $100, you'll be kind of like, oh, geez, I'm glad I sold that for $100. Like, even though it's Caitlin Clark, the only sort of, flip side on that is there is some Kobe Bryant cards that are out there, like that really lower end It's like that sort of central face shot of Kobe. And that
Yeah.
was down to like $20 at one point. That's shot up to $100 just recently. So look, that might be your play, long term if you're looking to buy and hold these long term. If you're picking these up for dirt cheap and putting them away, if you're buying them for $20, maybe that's fine. But at the same time,
Yeah.
purchasing that for $800, I think that's catastrophic. The next one I've got on here is the yellow to 75.
Yep.
That is currently trading at 1,280.
That is tanked.
That was at 2,699 at the high point. I would probably just get the number to 499 of the Pulsar in an NBA uniform instead of a university uniform, unless you're a diehard Iowa fan that needs.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
That needs this in your PC. Like again, this for me is just like tread carefully.
It's the college thing, right? You know what I mean? Like
Yeah. So if you go to the last 6 months on this is down 45%. Let's just round it up to 45%. I think that line keeps going that trajectory. There's nothing in my mind that's going to hold this up. All right, we scooted through that pretty quickly, and I did that on purpose because if we go to the next link ad, and everyone at home will be able to do this, go onto Card Ladder, click on sales, search for Caitlin Clark, and organize it by price.
Yeah.
And you will be presented with
a lot of money.
Let's call this outlandish. All right, so number one on this list for $660,000 and this sold very recently on July the 25th.
That's the same.
Platinum Caitlin Clark rookie logo woman autograph 1 of 1.
Yeah.
So look, obviously, if you're buying one card and you can afford it, this is the card to buy. It's flawless. It's on card autograph. It's the logo woman. I've got no problems with that. What do you predict that this card could or will be going down to next?
That's a tough one, isn't it? Yeah, I think, but that's got to be the pinnacle of Caitlin Clark cards.
Absolutely.
Flawless. Even the one below it, the National Treasures. They're both like those 1 of 1. Crowning pieces being 1 of 1s.
Yeah, definitely.
I think they'll keep their 500k benchmark, which is obviously the second one, but I think that 500k is a good floor for it.
So the Luca Logoman that fluctuated 500k if my memory's right. That sold for $1 million, didn't it? Then it sold for 500,000, and then. Like, why couldn't that go down to 300 or 200 and then maybe come back up again? Maybe, stay down.
Well, it depends. Like, it could go down. If Caitlin Clark has an injury-riddled next season, then that card could go down a lot.
So what you're saying is it's too soon to panic?
Yes.
Okay.
So they've stuck a fork in it for the end of this season. If the start of the next WNBA season there are injury concerns, I think that's when panic buttons will start getting hit.
Yeah. So we've talked about the first two. You mentioned the National Treasures. The next one on the list is the gold vinyl 1 of 1 PSA 10. So that's a sticker autograph, unfortunately, because it's a Prism card.
Yeah.
That sold for $366,000.
Wow.
Yeah, that for me is really tough because I think the gold vinyl is fantastic. I think the card looks beautiful. They've done a fantastic job with the finishing. It being a sticker autograph hurts my head at that price point. It really does. But at the same time, too, clearly the market dictated, where that card was going.
Where it sit.
Yeah.
Where it sat, yeah.
I actually like this list a lot because you can really see like a delineated tiers. This is actually a really good like teaching tool in some ways to say like this product is worth the most. This one's worth, the next. So next we've got the Kaboom. This is in BGS.
This is the physical copy of that 1 of 1.
Correct. Yeah, that's right. So 340k that sold for. Just comping that to the digital, which sold for 175. So it's almost exactly double, isn't it?
Yeah.
Interesting that went to BGS though. I suppose that saved the subber a couple of $1,000s, I suppose.
Probably. I don't know.
Next on the list is iMac. Again, logo woman on card autograph. This one is inscribed though with Rookie of the Year 24. That sold for 317,000k.
That's a good. I reckon that's actually yeah, that's a good price point for that one.
What do you like better, the Kaboom or the iMac? Because that's a very, very similar price point.
Ooh, I would go the logo patch
I
auto.
re- I really do like the patch autograph part, but I think there is a part of me that also says Kabooms. Even
I would say if things going well with Caitlin Clark, not going the other way, and the panic
yeah,
buttons don't get hit.
yeah.
That iMac card goes up, not down.
Okay. I just wonder at 317,000K, like, could you have waited a couple of
Maybe,
years when
maybe.
everything dipped down and spent that 300,000 on like the NT or the flawless? Because I feel like that's really in
When did
play
that?
now.
So when
Yeah,
did that sell? 10th of August. This is before the injury.
yeah,
Like you, no, someone would be backing buying it now and hoping that she went on a murderous run in the playoffs and the Fever won.
100%.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because that would send the card skywards.
All right, we're up to our 15-minute mark. Let's talk about one more card. I'll let you do the picking, and then we'll go to a break.
Oh, this is an easy one for me. I'm not going to go. I'm just going to go to the next one down. I like the Black Prism. It's a mosaic, isn't it too? Is it? No. Oh, Black Prism, the finite went for 275K.
Again, PSA 9.
Mm-hmm.
I suppose so. If the base is going for 275, it kind of makes sense that autograph would go for 360.
I like it. It's the finger, isn't it? Pointing up.
That's the finger pointing out one there.
Yep, one of one. I like it.
Anyway, look,
Don't know about the price point, but
people at home, if you do want to have a bit of a browse through this, for me, this is incredibly eye-opening. Just like what's happening in this market, in this space.
yeah,
I think we just keeping an eye on this. Moving forward, this has to be a work in progress. I don't think this is the final time we're going to be talking about Caitlin Clark.
yeah. I definitely don't think it's the last time. Yeah, there's lots
US
of cards
Sports Cards Australia, thank you so much for your ongoing love, sponsorship, and support. Go to usportscardsaustralia.com.au. Click on the three little noodles. You will find sports breaks. Check out my Cards Australia, singles categories, collectible protection, hobby boxes, toys, and sports memorabilia. Ross is annoying everybody in a group chat at the moment with his Check Out My Cards Australia, with him developing his own standalone page for that. That will be coming very, very shortly. Do not forget, all You Can't Comp This listeners who are subbing their singles to Check Out My Cards Australia, all you need to do is write You Can't Comp This on the submission form. You get a free submission on that. Basically, Check Out My Cards Australia is a consignment service. You send all of your cards into Ross. He'll list them, help you with the pricing, sell them for you, put the funds into your accounts. Simple as that. You're all done. Thank you to US Sports Cards Australia for your ongoing love and support. Adam, we're back. How you doing, buddy? We're into the final run.
I am good. I'm ready. I'm ready to talk some more stuff. What's left on the sheet?
The hobby makes no sense to me. This is about the third time we've already said this in tonight's podcast. This is from the Market Movers app. The green number to 5 of a Steph Curry PSA 10 from 2013 Panini Select, recently sold for $5,896. The gold number to 10 sold for $15,000, nearly $16,000, $15,900.
Madness.
So I think the reason why I brought this up is because there are just some things in the hobby that have never made sense. Like for me, the thing that really I struggled with, there's been two massive things for me, is Select hobby. Even though the population count on almost everything in Select is lower, I personally find Select generally more aesthetically pleasing than Prism. There's some years Prism's obviously better than Select. I've got no problems with that.
Yeah.
But always the prices on Select is much lower than what Prism is, particularly for silver rookie cards and numbered cards.
Fair.
The other one that I always struggle with too is Prism Fast Break.
Yeah, okay.
Even the numbered cards on that just sell way, way worse than anything that comes out of Prism Hobby does.
I don't understand that.
I think it's just the aesthetics of the bubbles, basically. I think it's as simple as that. There's nothing else to it. Like, the population counts are lower, everything. I was always hoping, to be honest with you, that eventually the fast break market would catch up with the regular market, but I don't think that's ever going to happen. I think this is something else that we can just add to this list of there are things in the hobby that happen, they don't make sense, but you just have to accept it. And this is literally shining a torch onto an example where a number to 10 will outsell 3x a card that's much lower population than a higher value card. Yeah. So, frankly, I think both of these purchases are fantastic. I personally think the green number to 5 is a way better buy, just for the fact that it is number to 5 and it's 1/3 of the price.
Yep.
I just wonder moving forward though, with those really iconic cards, probably at the end of the day, the better purchase is going to be the gold to 10, just because of like the actual finances of it, if that makes sense. Yeah, but
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
where are you at with stuff like this? Like, have you got a crazy example of your own of things that just don't make sense in the hobby?
Not real, not in this sense, but I can see why the gold has more appeal. Obviously there's the color match factor. I'm a big fan of the color match.
Yeah, I mean, there's a little bit of yellow in the uniform, but
They are the Golden State Warriors.
okay, that is true. That is true.
Not the green and the State Warriors.
That is true.
But it is like the gold Kobe's, for argument's sake, because the Lakers are purple and gold. Like, I guess a bunch of the green would probably still sell pretty big.
Anyway, GameStop. Let's talk about that really quickly. I was hoping we'd get more comments on this, but we literally have got 2 comments.
Maybe there's just a lack of interest
in the post that I put up. Look, I'm not sure. It might be one of those things of like, this is too early.
Yeah.
But as much as Caitlin Clark has been on my mind this week,
yeah,
I would also say these power packs have been on my mind too. So I think.
Did you hear the rumor?
What's that?
And I don't know if it was a rumor or it was any. The GameStop are going to try and buy PSA.
I haven't mentioned that because
it's unsubstantiated, but
like that to me is more like a conspiracy theory than news.
Yeah,
I mean, now you brought it up. Like, I'm happy to talk about it. So the context of this is that, remembering what happened with GameStop, how essentially their own fans.
Yeah, there was they
did the Reddit post and then people saved GameStop from collapse. So that was the first thing that happened. That also brought in a lot of money into GameStop. So then they've taken that money and made some investments into things. And then since that time, now they've floated essentially where, and look, and companies will do this from time to time. They'll go to their shareholders and say, would you like to buy these shares at this particular price? And then more money is put into the company, and then they can take that money and reinvest into the next thing. So they've just raised another $1 billion in cash.
Yeah.
Can you buy a PSA for $1 billion? I actually don't think PSA would sell them for $1 billion.
Yeah, I tend to agree. I tend to agree.
Maybe they'll get a 40% stake, or maybe they'll get a 50% stake, but I couldn't imagine that they will sell out because. Also, why would you sell PSA?
Yeah, that's true. Why would you?
And if GameStop and PSA have already got this huge collaboration, which seems to be working well, like, I mean, I suppose if you're GameStop, it makes you a better company, so that will be why you would try and buy it. But I just don't understand it from PSA's perspective.
That's fair.
I think where I'm trying to go with this is, I don't believe this until I hear it from.
Look, I don't.
Nat Turner, or I hear
sure.
it from Ken Golden, or I hear it from someone like old mate, which I don't want to say his name.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean. That's
fucking Jeff Wilson. Yeah.
Jeffy boy.
All right, so just to refresh, if you didn't hear what we were talking about last week with the GameStop power packs, essentially you go online, you purchase a power pack. It's a digital redemption of a physical card.
Yep.
The card is physically in the PSA vault. So then you can have it shipped out to you. You can have instant buyback, or you can hold it in the vault.
You keep re-rolling until you get the card you want, you mean?
Correct. They say at the moment they anticipate the average buy will be 3 times because people will accept buyback, purchase again, accept buyback, purchase again, and then tap out. That's what they're anticipating will happen.
That is crazy.
Yeah. So I personally think there's a lot of legs in this. It's currently still in beta phasing.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're doing Pokemon and NFL at the moment. They're not actually technically up to NBA yet, even though they've said they will release one. They're definitely going to do NBA. Like it's not even a conversation.
Yeah, for sure.
If or when. So look, Travis Parker, I heard you guys talking about these on the recent Timeless Moments episode. They sound pretty cool to me. Definitely give them a go. Corey Gilbert, from what I heard you say about them, sound very similar to Arena Club's repacks. If so, I'm willing to give it a try. I look, stupidly small sample size, and even if I get your opinion, that takes it to 3 or 4. But at the same time, I kind of get the feeling these are going to be very well received.
Yeah, I think they'll be fine.
Where are you at with these? Yeah.
I think people have got an appetite for risk in the hobby, so I don't see it being this any different, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like I think people will have a punt on cards on packs like this. It's as simple as that.
Would you have a crack?
How much are they?
There's a price range. There's like 25, 50, 100, I think 150. Okay. I think there's $1,000 one too. So,
okay. I might have a flutter for $100 one maybe or something. Yeah. I'd give it a crack. I don't know if I'd re-roll and re-roll and re-roll. I'd just buy one and see what happened.
I think, particularly if I hit on the first one, I would definitely keep re-rolling.
Okay.
Yeah.
But that's where the temptation is, right?
Also, that it's instant.
Yeah. Yeah, true.
I think that's that to me is the differentiating part for sure.
Fair.
Alrighty, Brogdon to the Knicks. This is interesting for a couple of reasons because he had been unofficially said to have signed with the Golden State Warriors. Now, the reason he didn't sign on paper there is because of the Jonathan Kuminga contract hasn't been resolved.
Yeah.
So until that happened, there was all these other basically moving parts that hadn't been resolved. Obviously, Brogdon couldn't wait much longer. He then went and signed with the Knicks. So if you look at the Knicks roster now, they are literally 12 deep.
Okay.
And as much as I like Deuce McBride, I'm kind of like, I think Brogdon should play ahead of Deuce. I think Brogdon is one of those players that if you were measuring IQ on the court, he would be in the top 5 in the whole league.
He's
Jokic, LeBron.
Wow, Brogdon up there.
Halliburton. Yeah.
Right.
Athletically, he's not fantastic. And I think he makes up for that complete lack of athleticism with his nous. I think that's the best way to say it. Look, I don't think we even need to talk about Malcolm Brogdon cards. He doesn't
he doesn't.
Very high, so we can probably leave it at that and just move on to the next thing.
Cool.
Ben Simmons.
Doesn't comp very well either.
Allegedly was offered one contract this off-season. It was from the New York Knicks. I'm going to say that offer, now that Brogdon has gone there, is no longer available.
Agreed.
His agent has also dropped him, which is an interesting one. I don't really recall the last time an agent dropped an NBA player.
Can you call him an NBA player?
He's more of an NBA player than I'll ever be, so I'll say yes.
I'd say he's a former NBA player with back issues. Anyway, yeah.
I think at this point in time, you can almost chalk that up to be like Ben Simmons, might not be coming back to the league, which is a crazy thing.
Didn't even make it. Yeah.
Technically, didn't make it to 10 years. So
yeah, that's pretty. It's
2016 crazy. Rookie card, PSA 10 silver, last sold for $33.
Wow.
It's a sad, sad decline for this young man.
You can get this card for less than $300 or $400 back when he.
Yeah. So his highest sold price was $3,048, mate. It's literally gone down $3K. That's a shocker. I'm actually shocked it went. Like, if that was, say, if the floor on that was $100, I'd be like, that's totally fine. I get that. There's enough.
Do you know what the scary bit is, right? That 3.5K, that $3,000 sale, right? 3,048. That's during the crazy period, during COVID.
Yeah, yeah.
The $2,275 sale was in 2017.
Yeah.
People were paying for this guy.
Yeah, so there was a bit going on around Ben Simmons, and I actually can't remember all
Remember
this,
the process with Embiid
word.
and... Anyway.
No, but he also refused to sign. So what it did was...
He was with Leaf, and yeah.
So then people chased alternative rookie investments for, the number one overall pick.
Yeah, fair.
And actually, the market at the time, silvers weren't that popular. And so he actually... You can kind of blame Ben Simmons a little bit for this. Is that
agreed?
Made silver rookies more popular.
You
need a coffee, mate. Even though
it's almost the end. It's almost the end of the show.
We're nearly there.
Ben Simmons, I'm like, scraping the bottom of the barrel if we're talking about him anymore.
All right, this is from @RTNBA. Who is the better player? Dennis Rodman, 2-time All-Star, 2-time All-NBA, 8-time All-Defensive Player, 2-time Defensive Player of the Year, 5-time champ, 7-time rebound champion. Draymond Green, 4-time All-Star, 2-time All-NBA, 9-time All-Defensive Player, 1-time Defensive Player of the Year, 4-time NBA champion, 1-time Steal champion. Who have you got?
I'm Rodman. I'm on Rodman.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm on Rodman. Cause he was so. You think about I feel like Draymond's been more consistent for longer, but I think Rodman was more impactful in waves.
I think for me, young Dennis Rodman in Detroit was, in terms of just a lockdown defender, that for me was that's in my mind, that's the gold standard of how someone can defend. Some of the footage of him defending for me just blows my mind. So I'd say that first. The second thing I'd say is I think he was a fantastic player and again, very high basketball IQ.
Yeah.
But I actually wondered today if he would struggle to translate across because of his complete lack of offensive game and what now NBA defenses can do to, zeros on the court when it comes to that. So the classic example, actually, and using the Draymond Green reference is how that you can put Draymond Green onto the worst offensive player and let him roam around because he literally just doesn't have to defend
That's fair.
somebody. And that's a very typical Golden State strategy.
Yeah.
I think his rebounding though really does set him apart between him and Draymond.
Yeah.
And I think that Rodman is a much, much better athlete than what Draymond is. And I think in some ways, and that's even though you could say, that's criticizing Draymond, but actually Draymond to get that far being the lack of athlete and being undersized, that's actually a huge compliment to him just to maximizing getting everything out of his body, that he has done.
Yeah.
I just think, and I think for me, I'm going with Rodman. And I'd also say, considering we're an NBA hobby show, we have to then also talk about the cards. And it's so clearly in favor of Rodman. It's just not funny. There's a whole heap of Rodman stuff that goes for way higher than.
But I feel like there are Rodman collectors out there.
There are just Rodman collectors out there, but also I find all of his stuff just goes for me just way too high, and I don't understand why it goes for so high. But again, putting that down to things that doesn't make sense in the hobby, people love Rodman and they'll pay those prices for the sneaker spotlights and the on-card autographs and all that type of stuff. So, whereas Draymond, no one cares.
He was the third. It was the third one. It was the Splash Brothers and Draymond. Do you know what I mean? He was number 3 in the big 3. So. In that
or 4. I mean, Iguodala got Finals MVP, right?
This is true. He was never the guy.
No, definitely no, and he never was. That was his whole thing. Was he was just a nuts and bolts guy.
Yeah.
Jordan to close from our friends at Card Ladder, the 1998 Skybox Premium Intimidation Nation. I actually don't mind the artwork on this. I don't like the title of the card, but that's totally fine. It's a Court Kings-esque illustration going on here. This sold for $88,000. Population 10. PSA 10. Population on this is just 11. I don't have a problem with this pricing. I just would rather have paid
less.
$10K for it, like what it did.
Yeah.
In 2018, So
well, it goes back. It's another one of those things. We spoke about it earlier in the episode with Alvaro. Pop count.
Yeah.
And those, especially those Jordans, those low pop Jordans and Kobe's and such. That's where it is.
Final thoughts, Ad?
The hobby's gone completely mad, but it is very healthy. No, we haven't gone completely mad. It's some things don't make sense, but yeah, we're healthier than ever. There are shops that you can go in and hang out at. There are trade shows everywhere. Times are good. It's a fun time to be involved in the hobby. That's my final thought for this week.
Yep. Thanks, Ad. Thanks, Central Coast Radio listeners. Thank you to all our podcast listeners and supporters. We appreciate you. And of course, thanks to Alvaro again for coming on and giving us his time. We appreciate it a lot.
We do. And we'll see you. We'll see you online next week, but we might see you at the Oz National next weekend.